Hey, and welcome to this Thirsty Thursday edition of Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV. I'm John Tabacco. We're coming today live as we do every single day, Monday to Friday, noon to 2 Eastern. We are in the Question Tequila Studios. We're in the Liquid Lunch Outpost studio in downtown Manhattan. Yes, Mom, we are still on Broadway. And before getting into this wild Thirsty Thursday show we have in store for you today, let's take a look, as we always do, down the street to the New York Stock Exchange, where the Bulls continue to be on a run, with President Trump projecting strength across the world, showing that if you cross a red line, there will be a price to pay. I think most of the world is standing at attention now, and China comes to the table and signs phase one of a trade deal, which saves them from some tariffs, cuts some tariffs back, also guarantees about $200 billion in purchases that we weren't getting before. So it's a thinner deal than many had expected, but still a great deal nonetheless. Because of the deal, the Dow seems to be loving it. I mentioned to you last week that a close above 29,000 this Friday could bring 30,000 and above right into sight. We're at 29,200 right now. Who knows what could happen? My good friend and New York Stock Exchange veteran Joe Dente is in the house, so I may have to check in with him on the commercial break and see if we can get to 30,000 this week. Bitcoin's still in a good place here at 86 and change, just under 8,700. I mentioned in my Monday morning quarterback newsletter that I thought 8,500 was the number that we needed to hold some support. We're trading well above 8,500 right now. I think this is a good sign. We're going to have some experts on later on talking about how this loose money policy over in China may make a lot more people try to get money out of China. And probably the most genuine and the most trusted right now, the safe haven, if you will, for cross-border transactions is Bitcoin. It continues to be the one and only, if you ask me. We'll get into all that cryptocurrency and all that other stuff a little later on. Frankie's not here today, so my co-host is he's on the run. He's in some heavy-duty, big-time meetings. So filling in today, usually our man on the street, but today he's the man in the Frank zone. My brother Derek is helping produce the show. Hey, Derek.
Hey, JP.
How are you? What's happening?
Doing good.
What do you got on your little clipboard over there?
I know
you got some notes?
Yeah, we have a rundown of today's show. We have all the guests on today. We have some messages coming in on social media. So I'm going to try to fill in for Frank. Frankly, they're big shoes to fill. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it.
It's not as catchy, Derekly speaking. But,
Derekly speaking. No, I need a tagline.
I like you with the headphones on. It's a good look for you.
Yeah, thank you. You look good too.
Yeah, thank you. Frank's not here, but there has been an ongoing discussion on this show about how many on the left and the left-wing media, many of the liberal media outlets continue to push this narrative that the number one issue to Democratic voters in the 2020 election is climate change. I can't believe that's true, but that's what they want us to think. We've done some experiments. We've done some science experiments on the show to prove on a micro level that some of this stuff about melting ice caps is going to raise. So I keep digging deeper, because the left tells you lies, the right tells you lies. Right here on Liquid Lunch, we tell it like it is, all right? And I got to tell you, this is some serious scientific research I've come across, and a new study is out on climate change by Dr. Roger Higgs, okay? Dr. Higgs is a highly respected, Oxford-trained PhD, okay? He's has a PhD in international geological, archaeological, astrophysical, paleoclimatological. Okay, that's a lot of titles. And the premise all comes down to 2 million years. They researched 2 million years of time. I think I mentioned previously that how vain could the left be to think we've only been around for a couple thousand years and somehow or another our carbon emissions are changing the entire universe that's been around for millions of years. Here's the key point. Dr. Higgs has come up with the conclusion that many are agreeing with, that in the last 2,000 years, it is the sun not CO2, that controls global temperatures. And there's apparently, here's the article itself from Dr. Higgs, and there's apparently a vast body of scientific data that shows that the forces between the Earth and the sun cause every few thousand years different shifts on the Earth's axis, which moves us fractionally in a minuscule amount closer and further from the sun. And those 3,000 year ebbs and flows tend to cause the climate change. Nothing to do. Now, that doesn't, I'm not sitting here saying that we should do more coal production and Sarah, my makeup girl, should use 2 more cans of hairspray on my hair every day. We should be good shepherds of the planet that we have. But trying to make this into the #1 issue, if that's the #1 issue, another reason, if you ask me, that Donald Trump was going to run away with it, because everyone I talked to, even the other day, we had former welterweight and light heavyweight, lightweight champion Zab Judah, 6-time world championship boxer, not a huge Trump fan. But I said, what is there one thing that you like? He said, I gotta admit, even though he's not my favorite, I got more money in my pocket, all my friends, all other business owners I know, I see more opportunity out there, less regulation. And if you ask me, in the coming election, most people are gonna take a look at that stock market, which is raging right now, and I think it'll continue, okay? And then they're gonna take a look at their bank account. Household incomes are up $5,000 from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics over the last 2.5 years, okay? Over 8 years of George Bush's term, household incomes were up $800. Over 8 years of Barack Obama's term, household incomes were up $1,100. And over almost 3 years, not even 3 years of Donald Trump in office, household income's up $5,000. So you may want to think the Rachel Maddows of the world and the Chris Hayes of the world talking about the climate change, the sky is falling, the icebergs are melting, the sea levels are going up, we have to leave the coastal areas. The #1 issue is people's pocketbook and how much cash they got in their pocket, how their business is doing, and I think the economy is on fire right now there. I don't know. What do you think, there? Do you think the economy is doing better now under Trump? I mean, it's like widely reported that this is one of the best economic runs in history.
Yeah, I mean, John, the economy's doing amazing. It's a 50-year unemployment low that we have with Trump in office. So, I mean, stock market's doing great. Even cryptocurrencies are doing good. Yeah. I got a tip yesterday from my friend Drew, the crypto cowboy, on some cryptocurrency. So we'll share those later. But the market's doing great. Unemployment's down.
A little crypto tiptoe you got yesterday?
Crypto tiptoe.
From Drew Taylor, the crypto cowboy himself.
And we'll be sharing that in our Man on the Street
That's going to be in the Man on the Street. Fernando Cabrera is going to be with us a little later on in hour 2. He's New York City councilman, but he is a Democratic candidate for Congress. And he and I share one mission, which is to make AOC bartend again. Chris Wittenberg is going to be here in the second hour. He's also going to talk about Bitcoin and why it may be a safe haven. Runan Luzan is going to be joining us in just a few minutes, and you are going to love this one, folks. He's the CEO of MySize, okay? First and foremost, MySize is a publicly traded company, trades on the NASDAQ. They've had some good news recently. Do not take any financial advice from me. I am not asking you to buy stock in MySize. I am not a shareholder in MySize, but they have a phenomenal technology logistics platform where you can actually use your phone to take a picture of yourself, and they size you for a custom suit. And all my friends out there in TV land who tune in every day, thank you so much. All my subscribers to the Monday Morning Quarterback. Many of you comment on my suits, so we may have Ronan come and comment on how good or bad they may be holding up. And who knows? Maybe he'll even size me, and we'll tell you some more stuff about MySize a little later on. And Judge Dodell joins us at the top of hour 2. The amazing Kreskin is going to be here today. National, world-renowned figure who amazes and amuses you with his mind reading and trickery. And he's going to be here in the Metropolitan Magazine report with Chase Backer. So stay tuned for that. Do not go anywhere on that one. Now, Many people on the left are talking about how taking out Soleimani was an escalatory event. It's going to escalate. He's taking us to the brink of war. And the Iranian leadership, they took a step back, said, all right, don't kill any more of our generals. They took some retaliatory action. They actually warned us they were going to fire at some bases. They fired some old rockets. No one was hurt, injured, anything on the attack zone, although one of their rockets, for some reason, took down a commercial jet airliner, which I think is a conspiracy theory in the brewing, because you don't just knock a commercial airliner out of the sky with an errant rocket. And I think it's widely reported that the FAA had a full travel ban, no flights taking off or going into Iran, but somehow or another, someone let this one plane take off, and then in this amazing moment of synchronicity, the one plane that took off in the whole area gets hit by a misfired rocket, and the whole, God bless the 150 plus people who were killed in that, but it doesn't seem, it's a little too coincidental for me to be an accident. But we'll keep our eye on that. But now over in Iran, where they're saying that, they want to come back to the table, they don't want an escalation of the war and all this other stuff, Donald Trump Jr. tweeted this yesterday, and here's what the Iranians are now plotting for our friend and ally in the United Kingdom, and what they think they should do to the UK ambassador to Iran.
میگن آقا سفیر انگلیس اخراج بشه. سفیر انگلیس اخراج بشه این بالاترین محبت در حق او، این بالاترین گذشته که مردم ما به اخراجش راضی بشن. نخیر سفیر انگلیس باید تیکه تیکه بشه.
Yes, you read that correctly. What they were saying is it would be nice of them to expel the UK ambassador. That would be an act of pardon and charity for them. But how he ended it was, what we really should do is take the UK ambassador and chop him into pieces. So that's what they say on their shores. Meantime, publicly, they fire rockets at an empty base to try to look tough at home. But we'll keep our eye on that, and I have a feeling if any harm comes to the UK ambassador, there's going to be a few more rockets firing incoming towards Iran and some of their top leaders. Number one state sponsor of terror in the world, Iran, today threatening to chop up the UK ambassador. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back right after this with a whopper of a Thirsty Thursday show. You're watching Liquid Lunch. Stay right there. We'll be back after this.